So, instead of taking you through the typical process of understanding about meditation, we'll be trying to understand different examples from our real life experiences, and then we'll understand how important it is to meditate. So, I would like all of you to think about a tree. So, if I say word tree, what comes to all of your mind? So, when we have this kind of exercises in a public, then generally we ask them to draw tree when we have this in person. And generally what happens is people draw different kinds of trees. They have beautiful branches, laden with fruits, have a strong trunk and everything. So I'm sure that all of you must also be thinking in the same terms, wherein you have the trunk, you have the branches, you have the leaves, green leaves, we have a nice sweet tasted fruits and these kind of things. But the most important thing, what I personally observe in all of them, is that they miss out something very important. What they miss out is to draw the root of a tree. How much depth the solid foundation tree has by its roots. So as we know, the tree strength comes from the root. If the roots of a tree is not strong, then any given circumstances, any high wind or high wind which is blowing at a higher speed, it can topple off the tree at any given moment. So it is standing only when there is no difficult situation. The moment any adverse situation is being put, the tree, although it may have the, no matter how much big stem or like big trunk, or no matter how much beautiful it may look, but if it does not have the strong roots, it will be of no use. It cannot stand the difficult situations. That is one thing. That is the first importance of a root. Second importance of a root is that all the ingredient what a tree derives for it to get flourish. Like for an example, we know that how the tree grows. We put the seed onto the earth, we keep watering it, and slowly the tree grows. Correct? That's how it happens. And different seeds will give different kinds of fruits. If you put the apple seed, it will give you the apple fruit. If you put the mango seed, it will give the mango fruit. So basically, earth has the capabilities to provide all the natural ingredients for a seed to convert into a tree, and which can give different kinds of fruit based upon the kind of seed which he had sown. So mango have a specific kind of chemical proportions and specific nutrition, specific protein than apple. It has bitter in taste, that is sweet in taste. If you see practically all the taste which we get from these fruits derived from same earth. And if the tree is not strong enough, then the capability to draw those required elements for it to fructify into a big tree and fructify into a being able to give the fruits will not be there. Second importance of a root. First is that it helps a tree standing firmly in an adverse situation. Second thing, the tree is tree because of the root itself, because of the element which the tree derives from the earth. Obviously, we have to put water, there's a natural situations, but most importantly, it has to be rooted on the earth. If you deroot it, if you provide water, nothing is going to work out. So similarly, we can draw a very strong, very interesting parallel in all of our lives. So what do we all look for when we look for somebody to hire? What the HR person will look for? All the skills, talents, and how much capability you have to work outside, and how many certificates you have. Basically, they will see your entire resume. And resume is based upon your external situations, is based upon your external credentials. whatever accolades you have, they're all externals, right? But nobody asks how strong are you from within. Can you handle that situation? Even if they ask, we may bluff them. And how they are gonna judge it? The judgment is very poor in that case because they don't know how weak or how strong I am within. They will just show the external what the tree is giving, like that we see about the tree. Similarly, not about even the HRs, anybody we come across, they judge me based upon how I looks, how can I process thinking, how intelligent I am, or how much hard work I can do, all these kind of things. Nobody will judge me based upon my inner, how much rooted I am to my own self. Second thing, so the natural ingredient for success to become successful in life is constant inspiration, is constant agility to move in this world without getting impacted, the ability to have that creative intelligence within me, the ability to have that great attitude in our lives. They're all coming from within. What is the source of inspiration? It's my own self. If you want to get inspiration from somebody else outside, it will be not a constant source of inspiration. But if I get connected deep within myself, like a strong roots, then I can keep getting constant inspiration from my own self. I become a source of constant inspiration for my own self and for others as well. So in that sense, now coming back to the main point, what we have to discuss, that we have to deepen our roots. We have to go deep within to be able to withhold ourselves in an adverse situation, which everybody invariably go through, and to be able to become resilient in those situations. At the same time, have a constant source for my inspiration, constant source for my own natural ingredient for success, and that is deepening our roots more and more strong. So, but how do I deepen my root? That's the most important query. Is there any process? Is there any food I can eat, like super booster food I can eat, which is going to deepen my roots within? No, there is no such food, or there is no such process available in the hand of these modernists, in the hand of the modern people. We have to go back to our roots of Vedic culture, wherein the great sages and great saints have given us the process of meditation. So when we meditate, it helps deepening my root. It helps connecting to myself. It helps deriving the constant source of inspiration from my own self. First point is it helps deepening our root. First and foremost important point. The second point is that, for an example, every day we take bath. Let's say if you don't take bath for a week or for a month. I know there used to be a competition in our college time wherein this type of competition, who will not take bath for the maximum number of days. One person won it when he remained unbathed for the 45 days, and he won actually that particular, in that particular domain he won. That he was the person who could remain without taking bath for the maximum number of days. He won that reward. He won that award basically. There was another person I was reading about. He remained without taking bath for almost 45 years now. In the last 45 years, he has not taken bath. And he says whenever he think of even taking bath, he start getting infections. So you can see, and nobody wants to come around him. You can see how much degraded, how much debilitated, how much pathetic situation would be around him if he has not taken bath for the last 45 years. You can search about him. There's a most dirtiest person of the world. You will come across about to know about him. So basically, it is not desirable. It is not natural for us to not take bath. Why? Because day in and day out, when we go out, we accumulate a lot of dirt in the body. And for that dirt to get cleansed off, we have different soap solutions, and we have the process of taking bath, cleansing process. Similarly, for my internal organs, Regularly, if we go for detoxification, then we don't accumulate those toxins. And regularly, if we do detoxification, then it helps me keeping my organs, clean and fresh. It again helps me, my metabolism remains good, my digestive system remains good, all these kind of things. But what about the mind? Do we have any cleansing process for the mind? Because mind also, we not our body get exposed to the outside situation, even our mind get exposed to outside situations. Even our mind, when we interact with people, it is their thoughts, it is their energy, it is their thinking process which we keep accumulating in us. Like somebody, if you are in a situation wherein invariably have to meet with so many negative people, that negativity that resort in my own system, in my own mind system. Do we have any process wherein we can cleanse our mind? Oh, okay, if we could see my mind, I could put my hand, I can get my hand access to that area, I can scrub it, with a scrubber I can remove the dirt. But nobody can access to anybody's mind. So meditation is a process by which we get access to our own mind, and it helps us cleansing it. A different kind of meditation provide you different degrees of cleansing. So that is second point. It is a cleansing process. Third example is a very familiar with all of you, is about cooking process. So when we cook, we use pressure cooker, right? So, and there's a process in the pressure cooker. At whatever point of time the pressure goes beyond a threshold, the whistle blows. Correct. Similarly, and it helps it not explode, and it helps cooking the food better. If that was not there, it will get overly cooked or half cooked. If that whistle blower system is not there, because it can gauge the pressure inside the cooker. But is there any way I can gauge the pressure within me? How much pressure I am, how much stress level I am, how much anxiety level I am in? No, we don't have any such such instruments by which we can access to the how much of pressure I am going through within. Nobody have created such a, nobody can create it also. So, and if we don't release the pressure, we start burning within, because food get burnt. So we keep burning in our own negativity, we keep burning in our own pressure. And healthy pressure is good, but we don't know when I have reached the healthy pressure limit. So for that, I have to keep releasing the pressure at a regular interval of times. If you don't release the pressure within at a regular interval of times, two things will happen. Either you will blast, or it will impact others people. Like sometimes, those children who just go out and shoot children. The pressure is so much that the bullying and so many kind of phenomena happening with those kids, yet they cannot handle that pressure, and that pressure get released on the when they press the trigger of a gun, and later on they kill themselves also. Either it is exploiting other, or it will exploit us, it will burn us. Sometimes people commit suicide, sometimes people just go insane, sometimes people develop a lot of psychological diseases that is hurting themselves. So either food is getting burnt or it is getting exploded. So the solution is to keep releasing pressure day in and day out. So that process which helps us releasing the pressure from cooker is meditation. Meditation helps in releasing on a daily basis whatever dirt I have accumulated, how much of pressure I have been in, it just leaks it out. I became again refreshed, re-energized, rejuvenated to be able to handle the next level of pressure. That is third important aspect. The fourth important aspect is a debugging process. For an example, we also use software, right? Nowadays, all the more when we are in this online age and everybody is working from home and everybody is connected through internet, and we have a lot of software which we have been using. The softwares, if you see, sometimes after long wear and tear, they attract a lot of viruses, different sources. And sometime or other, we have to keep debugging, we have to keep, removing the virus. We use different methods to do that. But what about the software which my body mind have? This mind can be compared to a software, and this body can be compared to the hardware. And we are also interacting and relating and operating in this world. Invariably, a lot of bug keeps coming in. So where is the debugging process? Who has made that software? Who is going to debug my system? Which software technology has done that? Nobody has done that. It means we need, but our saints, our sages, our scriptures have the process, and the Western people kind of take advantage and they learn from them and they sell it in different under different headings. Breathing, alternative breathing, or mindfulness, or it's all coming from our own rich heritage, Indian heritage and culture. So it's a debugging process. Fifth, and the final point which I have with you to discuss, it sharpens my internal abilities. So I will give you two examples and you will understand what I am talking about. There are two people and they're both cutting trees. Tree A and tree B cut by person A and person B. So person A works for 15 hours in a day with his own X, and he keep cutting the tree. So he cut X amount of tree, let's say for instance. Person B cuts tree B only for 5 hours, but he sharpens his X for next 3 hours. He sharpens his X for 3 hours and he works for 5 hours. So, and effectively he has worked only for 8 hours. And the other person has worked for 15 hours continuously without taking any break. But what do you think? Who is going to cut? Which tree will be cut sooner? Tree B or tree A? It's tree B. Because the instrument which a person is using is very important for me to cut the tree. If it is very sharp, by one hit, amount of depthness, amount of cutting would happen in the tree will be much more deeper than working with a blunt instrument. Similarly, we are also working with this instrument known as mind. If we don't give time to the mind to rejuvenate, to get sharpened, and to enhance its skill, then we're like a person working for 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, and not giving time to our mind to get sharpened. So it is not a waste. Sometimes people think it is a waste of time. I have to spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in meditation. It is not a waste of time. It is an investment which we are making on ourselves. So if we don't make investment in ourselves, we'll keep looking for people outside us investing in us. We'll keep looking for somebody else's attention. We'll keep looking for somebody else's validation from some other people. But if I am connected to my roots, if I'm regularly cleansing myself, if I'm releasing constant pressure, if I'm debugging myself constantly, and if I'm giving time to myself to sharpen and hone my skills of mind, then we would see we are constantly transforming. We're constantly upgrading our system. So if you don't upgrade our system, what happens? If I'm a IT professional, if I'm not upgrading my skills based upon what new technologies are coming, I'll be after some time will be taken over by somebody else. So constant transformation is very important. Constant upgradation is very important, and it is in my hand how much we work upon ourselves. So is a symbol of self-care, is a symbol of constant upgradation, constant transformation, and that's how the entire process works. So without taking much of your times, I would like to conclude here. If any